bienvenidos a todos en nuestra primera entrevista sin aquí nuestro compañero Omar, que nos ha dejado en la destacada. Así que vamos a estar criticándole todo el rato con Gothminister, góticos ministerios para los que no habláis inglés. Así que bueno, esperemos que os guste la entrevista y bueno, que primera entrevista con vuestras dos rubias de pelo en pecho, así que a tope, va a ser increíble. So,
let's rock.
Yep. Aquí tenemos también a Gala Cubillo, por si no la veis, no la escucháis, aunque sea la luz más brillante de la habitación, y a Gothminister, finalista para la final de la preselección noruega. Hi, Gothminister. How's everything going?
Hello. I'm fine. I'm without makeup now, but I mean, I don't wear makeup all the time, so just in civil now, but you know, when I go on stage, I look quite different.
So first of all, congratulations again, Gothminister, for your. You are in the finals. You're in the finals of the MGP. 11 years since the last time, no?
Yeah.
Personally, I think that in 2013, you should to win, but yeah, I really think it. But now you are here for the second time, and you're in the final. So congratulations.
Yeah, I think it was good because in 2013 I was number 4 in the semifinals, so I barely didn't make it, and it was very nerve-wracking to stand there and see that you didn't make it. And then 11 years later, I was, you know, they picked the first 2 and I was standing there against another artist, and I thought the same thing is going to happen again 11 years later. But then when they shouted my name, I was very relieved that also because I was very ill during the performance. I had the sinus infection, so I almost didn't know where I was, so I was very very sick, so I didn't think it went that well, but I managed to pull through, and I'm happy for that.
That's great to hear. So you told us about how was the moment when you make it to the final, but how did you feel when you had the call that you've been selected for the pre-selection? Like how was the moment? How did you felt?
Yeah, it was actually a question about entering Norway or Germany, actually, because there is a possibility, and we are, you know, friends with Lord of the Lost. We have the same agent contact and, you know, all that. So when I didn't hear anything from Norway, I was wondering. It took a while, but then finally they kind of accepted my application. I think there was about 2,000 songs, and they pick, you know, 18 for the first round, semifinals. So I was very happy, but now I'm the last 9, so in the finals. So and you know, in Norway, I would say it's a quite high level.
Yeah,
you're competing against, you know, big producers, big songwriters, and also, you know, Grammy winners. You have 2 of the artists in the semifinals are previous winners. They have come in number 4, Margaret Berger, and number 6, Kaino. And also, I think 1 year Kaino won the whole audience votes in the grand final. So it's quite a high level in Norway compared to some other countries, and some other countries again have maybe high levels. So, but it's difficult in Norway, especially for an artist like Gothminister. I'm kind of the dark horse.
But you are in the final, so I think that you're going full for to win now. And
I will try my best. I think the song I have now is maybe a better chance actually than Utopia in 2013. And there's a story behind that too, because in 2013 I was participating, and I met a producer called Jesper Borgen. And he's doing pop music. So he said, I always wanted to do a Gothminister song or produce. So we didn't talk anymore. And 10 years later, last year, I called him and said, hey, Jesper, do you still want to do it? Because since then, he has become a very big producer. He is, for example, behind Alan Walker with Faded, if you know.
Yeah,
It's almost almost 2 billion streams on Spotify. I mean, it's
I think
bigger
it's
than
the
A Hard Take on Me.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
the Norwegian song more streamed in the history, I think, more or less.
Yeah,
So,
I think Alan Walker and Kygo is are the biggest one. But so he wanted to work with me, and we started, this fight between the metal guy and the pop guy, and then we wanted to kind of make a hybrid sound of a little bit metal, a little bit pop, and it turned into We Come Alive.
and what was your inspirations for do We Come Alive?
First of all, I had some songs that I had produced, and I played it for Jesper, the producer, in the studio, and he liked it. But when I went home that day, I found out that it's not for him to do over again. So I get inspired by people. So I thought I will make a song for him that fits him, And then I just went home. So, on Monday I had 3 songs were already mixed, and he was listening to them and talking about which one would he like to do over again. And the next day I came up with a new song. I wrote the new song since yesterday, and here it is. And I think that's much better. And I said, wow, we can work with this. So then we kind of started from scratch. And so I wrote the song, did some of the sounds, and he put it together, because he's a good mixing guy. And the lyrics, I wanted to be typical, Gothminister, but I pictured something that could kind of crawl under your skin, and maybe give a message that it's not that bad being different. It's not that scary after all, and to kind of join forces together, to stand together. So then the lyrics just came like out of nowhere. It was like, the We Come Alive, and also You Will Be One of Us All in the end. So I think it was cool, and it fits Gothminister. And even though it's a quite commercial song, it's still what I can stand behind, But it fits more also for Eurovision, I think, than some of the other songs. But it is tough to compete against the other pop songs because they have, female voices and a little bit different productions. So we try to make a hybrid, but still keep, the rock sound and the dark sound. So this makes it stand a bit out, I think, compared to the other songs, which is good, I think, because I think it's good to be different. I think being different gives you superpowers.
Definitely. So how did you feel about the last performance, the performance on on your program? Like, did you have a good feeling about it overall, or can we expect any changes in the final in terms of production, maybe, or scenario?
Yeah, well, when we have the general test, I was so bad because I was so ill, so I wanted to go home because it was a long day, almost get no food, no water, and the air is dry. So a lot of actually great artists break down during this day because it's very exhausting. You meet up maybe at 11 in the morning, you get your gear on, and then they will run through the whole TV show, feels like several times, because some mistakes are done, of course, and you were standing there without water, nothing, and you kind of break down. And I was also sick, so I had this general test, and my crew said, "What are you doing now? It sounds horrible." But I'm an old fighter, so I thought, should I pack my bags because I'm not feeling well? So I had some moments for myself. I took some painkillers, and I ate one whole raw habanero chili. So it was like this, and I was ready to fight. And I went on stage, and I just did my best, and almost fainted afterwards. So it was really hard for me, and I was not particularly happy with the performance, but it was enough. So I hope I will be well, and I will hopefully do much better in the finals. When it comes to the show, I think it's not allowed, to change a lot, not for any artist, but we have some small details. I think we want to try, if we can, to tell the story a little bit better. So far, I think it's great, but we have some small adjustments to do. And of course, we need more pyro, we need more smoke. And now we're going to perform in front of 9,000 people.
Yeah.
It's quite big in Norway, so it's probably going to be 1 to 1.5 million TV viewers in the finals and 9,000 in the audience. At the semifinals, I think it was like 200. So it's very small.
Yeah, it's quite different. I have a question about your performance. In a few moments, the woman behind you do the design.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is why that thing?
Yeah, it is. Then we will control, we will control you, because it's like the puppet master. Yeah. So this is. I was also supposed to do that a little bit more, but I was so focusing on my voice because it was all gone. So I kind of just freestyled, but I was supposed to be a little bit more coordinated. But it is. I sing. We come alive. We crawl around your houses. We live under your bed, and then we will control you.
Yeah.
You will be one of us all in the end.
So that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
So it's kind of, and we start this show, with a small doll of me, which the producers actually, or the director, had the idea, because I had the idea of the little girl becoming one with the dark side, which is actually a good side in my opinion. Good being different, but this doll was also cool, and also I didn't understand, the camera angle until I saw the show afterwards, because I wasn't informed. But she's playing with the doll in the dollhouse, and suddenly the door or the window from the dollhouse falls down, and I'm going through it, or you can see me through it. And this was kind of, actually some said that this was one the coolest camera angle that's seen in Eurovision, and it's a big credit to the director.
Yeah, it's very. I like so much your performance, and I want to know the names or who are the girls that that is in the performance with you.
Yes, yes. Do I have the names? Because they normally present themselves, because I don't know them. But you have with me, I have this the girl.
Yeah.
Which is Hege, which is the choir lady with the dark. She's there, and she's also a great singer. So she will be, if we win, she will be joining one of the probably 2 female singers to back my vocals. And then the names I know is director Mona Berntsen. She's professional dancer, and she has been dancing with Justin Bieber and Madonna. So she's doing the direction, trying to tell this story, and she told me that there are so many details in Gothminister's music and image and all that, so she wanted to give something extra to kind of create this into an artistic show, and she's brilliant. So I'm gonna work a little bit with her to see if we can even improve the show. And I'm sorry, I don't have the name of the dancers. That's a little bit bad, but these are dancers coming from the broadcaster's side. So we just have to check up on that, so I get the names right, because I don't want to say anything wrong.
Yeah, I want to know her names, because I think that they are really good dancers, are really good performance. So to credit her, no, to credit them, but it's okay.
Yeah. So, and also the 2 small girls, they are, because there are 2 girls, they switch during the show.
Yeah.
Gonna work a little bit on that, maybe a little bit more makeup, so we see clearly that she's turned, and she has these scary contact lenses. So these are 2 girls, actually not twins, but 2 girls just looking like each other. and the parents are really like into the music and the cheering from the side, and so they were really happy when we qualified to the final, because I had to tell the girls, because I was not feeling so well, said it's only a game. Don't be sad if we don't make it, because I thought we were not going to make it, and I was preparing them to no, it's fine. And then they went to the final and kind of really
So sweet.
really nice. Yeah.
So if you could define like what you want to express, like with the lyrics, with the song, with the performance, if you could, how would you define it, like in 3 words?
In 3 words, it's not.
Or a few.
Yes, I have to have kind of a few, because We Come Alive is, of course, about what Gothminister stands for all the way, that I'm standing behind the thought of including everyone who are different. I know myself how it is to be left outside. I was mocked by my best friend, in school, and was how it's to be not included or not respected, because I'm trying to tell or speak a message that it's important to dare to be different. So you should not fear to be different, but you should just be yourself, but do whatever you like and respect everyone around you, make them feel comfortable and include them. Because as I said, being different actually is to have superpowers, in my opinion. It makes you special and it makes you you. So today, it's when we grow up, we kind of lose this child inside. And this is why I wanted to have a child in the show as well, because I think that when we're born and we grow up as children, we have this fantasy, this unlimited fantasy, and we have kind of a different view, at least I had, than what you are taught when you grow up. They say to you that, come on, you have to grow up, you have to stop being childish. But I refuse that. I will like to stay childish in a way and to play a lot. And I think that's important to go back to that creative phase, because being creative to me is being happy.
Yeah.
And to me, I get inspired from, some of the dark sides and what feels like unknown. So I challenge myself, and this is the same in the show. The little girl, she has her pink doll house, and she's wondering, should I join them? It's a little bit scary, and she challenges herself, and she joins in the end, and she sees that it's good. It's good to be different. It's good to not be afraid. Challenge your fears. And I think this trip from like being a little bit scared and challenging yourself, it makes you start a process in your brain. And when you start this process, you go out from this, safe zone into something which is a little bit uncomfortable, but then it will always find back. But on that trip, you learn something, and sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good, but all in all, it's a good experience. And then you might learn something or be inspired from this. And this is kind of creativity. I have this slogan for Gothminister, which was happiness in darkness. And I try to explain that the darkness make me happy, but you can also compare it to the unknown. I think that if you confront the unknown, it doesn't have to be dark. It can be that you're scared of walking out in the kitchen or looking out the window. To challenge yourself, don't be scared, because then you might learn something and be inspired by it.
Yeah, really interesting.
It was a long explanation, but it's about
no.
including those who are different and challenge yourself. Don't be scared. Yeah.
But it's okay. It's very interesting. So now, I want that. Imagine that you win MGP and you go to Eurovision. are you thinking now about your performance in Eurovision? If you wanna make some changes or something?
I don't know what is allowed. I heard some, stories about. I don't want to mention countries or even broadcaster or countries, because that wouldn't be fair. But you hear stories about bands or artists who want to upgrade the show and have to pay for it themselves. So I have no idea what the Norwegian broadcaster will offer, and I don't want to speculate in it. But of course, if it's possible to have a bigger show, I want that, because Gothminister is all about big and impressive. And my creativity doesn't stop. I have. On our stage shows, we have had like 6 meters animatronic demons. We had a big demon coming up from. It's all fun, 2 guys taking away our drummer, bringing it on the stage. We had an animatronic demon pulling him up by his legs, 6 meters in the air with wings and lights in the eyes. Was of course a doll made exactly like him. Went down, he was crawling back from the dead, people sharing. I had a remote controlled bat made by a Japanese guy I met on YouTube. It was actually flying by ornithopter by the force of its wings, and I had 2 like these sending me out over the audience head with lights, red lights, and people were sharing. These are kind of the effects we normally have had on our live shows. So, I mean, there's no limit, basically.
I love it. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's great to hear. I'm also curious, like, why did you choose to sing the song in English instead of in Norwegian, or instead of a mix of both?
I never made a song in Norwegian. Actually, never ever. Even from like I started, always been singing in English, and it's not my first language. So sometimes I need help, with some words. But we learn a lot of English, and we speak a lot of English, in Norway, because we don't have this dub, on the films. It's not like I was in Poland once, and then, or several times, but one time I watched a Polish, film or American film on Polish TV, and there was a guy in Polish saying that now she's walking through the door, now she's asking him, all this. We don't have that, and we don't have actors speaking in Norwegian on top of the English voices. We just have subtitles. So we learn English from TV and films, and we learn in school from the 3rd grade. So it's okay. But I of course, you might be able to express even deeper, in your own language. And it's cool with the Norwegian language, because you have these kind of scary words that sounds quite cool. And we have a great Norwegian rock band called Seigmen who sing in Norwegian. And it sounds fantastic, but I never went that road, and I'm not sure, maybe one day. But the only thing I had, because we play a lot in Germany, I had 2 songs with partly German lyrics, but no Norwegian yet. Yeah, we have one song from the last album where we're singing Norge, Norge, and that's Norway in Norwegian. Norge,
Yeah.
You can hear the R. That sounds cool, but that's the only thing, just one word. So that's
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just wondering, because like Norwegian for non-Norwegian speakers, it sounds like a bit harsh.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, yeah, it kind of fits with the vibe, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
it does. But then again, we have a lot of consonants, and and it flows more in English, I think. But you never know. Maybe Gothminister in Norwegian one day. Why not?
And do you plan to go on a tour or perform outside of Norway or outside of Germany? So in
Sorry?
to expand, if you have the plan to go on a tour or perform outside of Norway.
Yeah, we just came back from our European tour. In November, we played Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, France, and 5 shows in the UK. And then we went to Finland together with Lord of Lost, if you remember them from last year's finals from Germany. And last time we played in Spain, we've been playing in Madrid, Barcelona, and Bergara, that town up in the mountains. Isn't it called Bergara or
Vergara?
Bergara, yeah. We played there too, and but something happened because it's been a long time since we played in Spain, unfortunately, because I think there was this economic crisis, I think around 2008. So it was before 2008, and after that we didn't make it to Spain, and I'm really sad about that. But we've been playing in Spain before in the early years, and Italy, and even Portugal. But it's been a long time. We've been staying like in Benelux, GAS, and the UK. So I hope we will come back to Spain, because we have a lot of fans. I know that, and but it has been a little bit hard because of the economics and all that. So, but we'll see if we do it well in Eurovision. Then it's easier also.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So those are your plans, like after Eurovision. Rather, if you finally end up like having to schedule Eurovision in all. The big schedule, like, is that your plan, like going on tour besides Eurovision and maybe like making an album? What are your plans?
Yeah, well, some of the Norwegian artists, they have been like since some of them, participated 11 years ago. They have been away for 11 years, but I've just been releasing albums and playing live. So for us, this is just great promo. So we're just going to continue. So we have a new album coming out on AFM Records on the 3rd of May. Then we have a release concert in Oslo, 4th of May. And in April, we play in the United States. Then we have 2 or 3 German festivals. We're now working on a Finnish festival, and then we're going to have a tour, in the autumn, playing around, maybe back again, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, UK, maybe Switzerland, and then we'll see if we can move a little bit down south to you guys also. So we're just gonna tour and promote the album and see what happens in Eurovision too. So
I want to watch you in a live show, so I hope that you can come to Spain.
Yeah, I really kind of it feels in a way, how Eurovision is, that nobody play live. I have to say that it's just it just looks like it, but you sing live. But I would prefer to have like a band, but it's only allowed with 6 persons on stage. And in 2013 we had the band on stage, and they lost their in-ears, and it was not like a great show, with Utopia, with the band. So we agreed, everyone, that this year I just go solo, and we have like dancers and the show to kind of try this, and then we hope that we get good promotion for the music, and then we're back with the band where we like to be. It really feels strange that I'm gonna like do a sing back in front of 9,000 people. I wish my band was there, because it would be like 10 times more powerful, But this is the way it is, and I'm looking forward to it anyways. But I agree, it's a little bit strange for a band to do that, but it's the rules. So what can you do?
Yeah, that is your vision.
Yeah.
Gala, do you have any other question?
No, I only want to tell you that I hope that you win MGP. I hope. I think personally, I think your song, your performance, your entry is my favorite in all preselections in this year. So I think if you go to Eurovision, you're my favorite. So you will win my favorite.
That's very nice. Thank you so much. Try to do our best, and I think kind of Norway is maybe a little bit a barrier for us, because like we play in Norway, but we're not like the biggest band in Norway. So I think we have many more fans outside of Norway. So it would be interesting to see if we go through from Norway, what will happen, in Europe, because we are playing in Europe, not in Norway normally. So it's a little bit, So, but we'll see. I think just may the best artist win, and if it's not the best artist, then it's only the artist who got the most votes, isn't it? So, and we have an international jury too.
Yeah.
I never kind of experienced that before myself, so I'm really curious how they are gonna like be. And you never know. I mean, they count 40%, so even if you have most people's votes, you can still not make it. So
Yeah.
it feels a little bit like a lottery and a little bit like a competition. So it's gonna be exciting, but we're gonna do our best, and then it's up to someone else, you know.
Yeah, I think that in MGP there are international votes. So I think,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
It
maybe.
is, and we actually, I think also you can vote from abroad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's no, but I think I'm not sure if we're supposed to kind of promote that. So I'm a little bit careful with that because I haven't. But I think there are no restrictions, so we are just gonna tell everyone to vote, no matter where they are
Yeah.
from, and just support us and see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So then, our last question: if you've been following the Eurovision Song Contest, like, do you have a favorite entry, like rather from your home country or Eurovision in general?
I have one event that I think changed Eurovision a bit. And of course it's related to rock and metal, but and we were also on the same label back then, but you know, Lordi from Finland.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember that, you know, back in the 90s and early 2000, the level was not that good, and it was a lot of boring songs. And then I think maybe Lordi did a lot, maybe more than we think back now, because they were so different. And in Finland it said they should not be allowed to, you know, participate. And the guy commenting on Norwegian television, he said, if this crap wins, I'm gonna quit my job, and maybe I'm gonna go and kill myself too, or something like that. You know, it's horrible because he was so annoyed with Lordi.
And did he quit?
And no, he didn't quit, but they won. Yeah. And I think it kind of changed a lot, and it made Eurovision more interesting, because I think Eurovision is about including all kinds of genres. But back then, I think it was excluding. I think still it's difficult for us, like a rock and metal band, because, you know, I felt from the first press release day that there was something a little bit against me. I was wearing makeup. Nobody wanted to talk to you, you know, a little bit like this. But it was definitely a game changer when Lordi won, because then they showed it's possible to be different. It's possible to wear like crazy makeup, crazy clothes, and play heavy metal music. You know, I think it's good, and this is kind of, some people say it's a little bit similar now with Gothminister in the Norwegian MGP, because we're standing out with something different. I was in an interview today at NRK, and I don't want to like name drop, but one of the other finalist artists, she said her kid loves Gothminister, so she has to listen to my song 24/7, and that's hilarious. And he gets a little bit nightmares, but he kind of likes it because it's scary, and then he wants to listen to it and see the show, you know. And then a lot of kids send me videos watching the songs. And some old ladies say that we like you and the country song, and then I think maybe I'm not hard enough. But anyways, it's all kinds of, you know, feedbacks. But in the end, being different is very important. Being like everyone else is like not interesting, at least not for me. So I have to make a difference, do something different, and then we kind of try to change the game a little bit, and then other people start thinking, and then we get this process, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah. The best of Eurovision is the diversity, the different genres, and the kind of music from all countries in Europe. So
Yeah, and I have to say that after my performance, the first review I got was 1 out of 6. and the headline news in Norway said, with a picture of me, and it was not like a fortunate picture. I was a little bit like this with makeup, and it said this song should not be allowed to participate. Yeah.
Wow.
This was the
All right.
first reaction I got, and then I thought, kind of, oh shit, sorry, what is this? And they said the song is so bad, so the best with it is when it's over.
Wow.
Just horrible. And that was the first review.
But besides that, the reception has been positive, right? Like, as far as I'm.
Yeah, and then this was on the song before the performance.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they were not supposed to be. And then after the performance, I am still the only one with 5 out of 6 in the biggest newspaper. So I have the best grades of everyone now. For the like all 6. Nobody got 5 from the biggest newspaper. Only Gothminister. The best next one is 4, and then lower. So that was really surprised. And then the next grade was 6 out of 6.
That's amazing.
So actually, after the performance, everything changed. But of course, I got better grades. Also, it was horrible that first one. But people were so angry, So I got more fans from it. So thank you.
It's okay.
Thank
It's
you
okay.
for one. Yeah, but I think it's good. I think if you get 6 like I did and 1, then I did something right. Because 3 out of 6 is the worst. Because it's kind of nobody cares. It's okay, but it's not significant. It's not bad. It's not good. But 1, it's horrible. That's great. You create a reaction. Or 6, it's fantastic. Then you start kind of affecting people and making an impression, and that's what it's all about. So I think we found something here.
Yeah, because like at least you've made an impact. Like it's rather good or bad, but there's some impressions, and not just you're not just being safe.
Yeah,
so
but in the end, for me, it's not about winning. It's about being proud of the concept and the music, and being able to bring my message about including the different ones and being nice to everyone around you and making everyone feel comfortable in your company. This is the most important thing for me, to say to the world that we have to accept each other and include each other, and not be scared of anything that you don't know from before. You don't be like prejudiced or anything. Just be including and nice to everyone.
Yeah, and I think that platforms like Eurovision or the different preselection are good to share other music of people that they are not known in other countries. So I think is really grateful and really.
Yeah, I think in Norway also we come a far way, because one of my good friends, he was struggling a bit, and he finally came out as gay, and he was scared to let me know, because he didn't know how I would react, if I would be angry with him, or whatever. That was, of course, really happy that he found out who he wanted to be. But he told me he had to move from Norway, and that's 10-15 years ago, because they were so prejudiced and they were really nasty to him. So he moved to Paris, France, and it was okay. But now he lives in London. But now, kind of a lot of people, go to the Pride parade and these parties and have a good time together, no matter who you are or what you are. So it has been a big change in Norway. I'm really happy for that, because it's only like 10-15 years ago, it was totally different, and they were really like, not so accepting the differences we all have. If you are gay or lesbian, or if you do dark music, I mean, it's all about the same, to be including and let people choose what they like, and don't be nasty to anyone. I mean, it's their choice, and you have to. Most are really great people, and we have to cherish each other and include and just be together. And we have great parties. This these pride parties, especially, I think I love them because everyone is so free, and it's really great. So a lot has happened, but I know also that in some countries they don't, of course, have it easy at all. And I think Eurovision is great to bring together and show diversity. Basically.
In this house, we protect the diversity and protect the LGBT rights. So it's really nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
That's what Eurovision is about, I guess. Like united by music. That it's gonna be like the anthem of the whole show now.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Gothminister, for the interview. Like, it was great having you in the show, and we had a really good time. So thanks so much for this lovely interview.
Yeah, thank you so much also, and never fear to be different, right? It's your superpower. Okay.
100%.
And let's rock.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
And let's rock.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks so much. Bueno, pues esto ha sido todo con nuestro amigo Góticos Ministerios, que ahora al parecer también es nuestro padre. Yo soy Lilo la Grande de España. Tenemos también a Galo Cubillo, que es incluso más grande de España. Y bueno, esto ha sido todo. Esperamos que os haya gustado y podéis encontrarnos en todas las redes sociales habidas y por haber. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Mastodon, cualquier cosa que se os ocurra, estamos ahí como Eurorelinchu. Y bueno, muchas gracias por escucharnos.
Con Dios.
Hasta luego, sayonara.